festival in Israel, we have the decoration, but nobody expected that at the night of the 4th of May, we have this attack, and one bomb landed on the spot. So now we enter into the kindergarten, and we will ask the lady to introduce about the situation in this kindergarten.
The rocket Qassam, which was falling in the ground of this kindergarten, cause and effect according the building, the living building, and according the kindergarten of disabilities kids. This is a very unique kindergarten for kids with specific problems and needs. So thanks God it happened during the night. No kids or staff were exposed to this traumatic situation. But we arrived here during the night, saw the damage, and decided that definitely we cannot keep studying in this place. So in the morning we organized another place, another class. We took all the needs, and today our kids arrived to study in a new place. They didn't see this kindergarten class.
All right. So maybe please let me first translate your words to the Chinese audience, okay? So, 观众朋友们，其实刚才经过这个米尔亚姆女士的介绍呢，我们大概了解了一个当时这个学校遭受
After the introduction, we know that back then when the kindergarten was attacked, and back then there was a hole, and that is where the rocket landed. And the rocket exploded there. And on those buildings, you can see the hole of the gunshot. And if you follow us, we will turn right.
Okay, 我们从这边转过来。可以看到这个 to the walls, please.
And you can see here.
Columns, please. Yeah, this one. So 我们可以看到这个幼儿园外墙啊，已经是其实
On these walls and columns, we can see several holes and damages. So this column, you can see the cement has been exposed, and you can see the external wall. And the wall has been damaged, and we have this kind of severe damage. And this kindergarten was actually one for the children with disabilities. And back then, it was at night, and nobody was at the site. No children, no staff. Therefore, they did not have human casualties. So now let's follow the lady to know further about what happened in this kindergarten.
I will show you the place which was damaged, and we cannot keep on studying it. It is very sad because it is like hurting your home. It was their home of those kids and the staff, of course. Let's see what does it mean, just the influence of the bombing which was shot in here.
Okay. 那我们其实现在就来到了这个幼儿园的教室的里面，其实可以看到。
So now we are coming into the classrooms. And from inside, you can see the ceiling, and the internal structure have been damaged and destroyed. Back then, when they heard of this attack, they arrived immediately, and they decided that this place was not suited for children to have classes. So the children were transferred to another spot to continue their classes.
Okay, I see. We just keep interview with.
Well, thanks God, no kids were hurt or staff was hurt, but I would like to point that this is our situation along 18 years.
18 years.
18
years.
It is influence any effect of our life because once you are living your life as usual and suddenly at midnight or any other time of the day, you may come into such a situation which you never know how it's going to be finished. And sometimes people say, hey, you get used to it, so you're here for such long times. But there is no reason to get used to such situations. Many of kids and people are having post-traumatic symptoms which cause them a huge damage to their soul, to their abilities, to their usual life. The last few days are also very difficult days for people. Just for example, to take the people which are living in the building here near the kindergarten, they were protected at the shelter during the bomb, but their home was shocked. Their home was influenced from the bomb, and their quiet of night, their sleeping, their usual life are changing according to such situations.
So what's your next step for, now we got something like ceasefire. So what's your next step to maybe to rebuild this place and take back the
this
children?
place will have a makeover, of course, and we'll bring here other kids, because we don't want one more time to take those kids to come and to change places. It's not useful and not good for them. But those days, the psychological department of our educational department is taking care to the staff, to the kids, to parents who are sharing the difficulties of their kids and their fears and many symptoms of stress, and it must take care. But therapeutic treatment, psychological talking, diadic treatments, and it's never stop because every time it's happened, it's like a wake up all what already we thought that have gone, but it's come again.
All right. So maybe let me translate first. All right. 那么根据我们刚才跟这个米尔亚姆女士的这个采访呢。
So according to our communication with this lady, and she has introduced that similar situations have happened in the past 18 years for so many times in this town. And the people here are going to rebuild this classroom. Some may say this is just normal situation, but they have a mixed feeling. On the one hand, they have experienced similar attacks, but on the other, they suffer the psychological stress and hard feelings. And after each attack, the people here need to rebuild their buildings and constructions. And we can see a lot of remaining things from the students and children here. Their pencils, and later on, we will have the counseling for the psychological stress for these children. So many children have experienced psychological trauma after this round of attack.
During the day, all of them are getting into the shelter, and they have a very heavy door, and they are protected here, and can stay safely here.
Get it. So sorry, Essie. Maybe we should stand outside because I'm worried the signal inside is not so good. I was introduce this to our audience. 观众朋友们，那么其实我们现在所在的其实就是这个幼儿园，
So you
它一个
can
自身
see
的避难
that
所。
we
看到这个
are
大铁门
standing
们是
at
非常非常的
the
沉重的，它基本上
shelter
根
of
据
the kindergarten.
我们刚
So
才
you can
米尔亚
see
姆
the
介绍
door,
能
the
够
iron door
防止
is
这个爆炸
very
物的
heavy.
对这个室
According
内进行
to
一个
Ms.
损伤，所以
Miriam's
一旦有这个危险发生，
introduction,
有
we
爆炸
can
发生
see
的时候
that
呢，
this
孩
door
子还
can
有这些
prevent
教职
the
员工呢就可以
damage
躲进这里，
of
包括我们
the
看到其实这里的
explosion.
墙
So
体
in
呢
case of
也
any
是非常
attack,
厚的，
the
那么在
staff
这里
and
能够
children will go inside. And you can see
临
the
时
wall. It
成
is
为一个
very
避难所，
thick.
能够保护他们免于这个
So
火箭
this
弹的袭
is
击。
a
刚才
temporary
米尔亚姆
shelter
在
to
跟我们的
prevent
采
the
访中呢，
children
也
and
其实
staff
提到了
from
在
the
这个
rockets
幼
and
儿园旁
missiles.
边呢，就是一个
And
居民楼，
in
也是一个
our
居民，这是一
previous
个居民区。
discussion,
所以其实
Ms.
在当
Miriam
时
has
爆炸袭
mentioned
击发
that
生的时候呢，也有
the
很多人呢
kindergarten
是
is
在
in the
这
middle
里
of a
在
neighborhood,
现场，所以我们
and a lot
接
of
下来呢
people
可以往
actually,
这个居
when
民
the
区
attack
居民楼里
happened,
面走一走，
were
然后
at
看
the
能不能找到
neighborhood.
当
So
地的
maybe
这个
we
居
can
民，
go
我们了解一下
into those
在袭
buildings
击的
and
当晚
neighborhood
他们是
to
一个
see
什么样
whether
的
we
经
can
历。
find
So
a local people
so maybe
to
now
know
we can
what
go to,
happened at the
talk
night
to
of
some,
the attack.
local residents to see what happening that time.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
maybe let's go.
That's good.
Okay. OK， 现在我们可以看到，这现场有很多工人啊，都是在重新的
So
在准
now
备
you
修
can
复这
see
个
on the
受损
spot
的
there are many
幼儿园。
workers.
然后，其实我们
They
现在正面
want
面对的呢，
to
就是这个居民楼的大楼。
reconstruct this
实际上啊
kindergarten,
大家可以看
and
到
we
这个
are
楼呢，其实
facing
分
one
为
building.
可以分为两个部
And you
分，
can
一个呢是
see
这种粗糙墙面的这
this
种大楼
building
呢
can be
是
divided
建筑
to
本
two
身，而
parts.
像这种我们旁
One,
边这种
we
就
have
是
the
墙面比
building
较
of
光
a
光滑
rough
的呢，
wall,
是他们每一个楼
and
专
the
属
other
的
you
一
can
个
see
一个避难所。
the
这个避难
building
所
with
呢
a
是当
smooth
地
wall,
政府要求在这
and
个新建大楼
this
的时候
part
就
with
专门建
smooth
筑的。
wall
所以
is a
它在
shelter,
建筑的时候
and
可以
this
看到上
shelter
面
is
留了有这
required
个
by
钢铁的
local
通风
government.
口，然后它的墙体
When
呢也会
there
比
is a new
这个
building,
正
there
常的
must
这
be
个
a
居
shelter,
民楼呢要
and
厚出很
you
多。
can see
所
there
以
is
在
a
发生袭击的时候，
ventilation
一般人们会选
path,
择
and
进
we
入
have
到这
thicker
个避难
walls.
所里面
And in
来
the time of an
躲避这
attack,
个
people will
火
come
箭弹
into
的
the
袭击。
shelter to
好，我们现在
avoid being
去
damaged
居
and
民楼
hurt
里
by
面
the
看能不能找
attack.
一位当地的这个
So we will go inside the building to see whether we can find a local resident.
大家可以看到，这旁边其实都是在爆炸中受损的这
So
个
you can
民宅的
see
玻璃。Hi, nice to see you guys.
The glasses damaged due to the attack.
So, where? Yeah, yeah, maybe. Let's go. Yeah, I can make go too. Hi.那我们其实可以看到，现在整个街面啊，还是比较
So
平
you can
静的。
see
因
now
为
on
在
the
据说在
street,
今天早些
the
时候呢
atmosphere is calm.
有巴勒斯坦
Earlier
这
today,
个方面的媒体援引这个不具名官员的这个消息，
Palestinian
说双方呢
media
其实是已经达成了这个
has
停火的协议，
taken
但事实
a
上到目
source
前为止呢，
of
我们
a
没有
unknown
得到任
person
何乙方，
that
没有看到
both
任何这个
parties have
乙方和
reached
军
a
方予以证
ceasefire.
实。不过，
But
根据
up
我们
until
在今
now,
天在
we
整个以色
have
列南部现场
not
的了解，其实当地的这个社
received
区
any
也重新开放
confirmation
了，包括
from the
已经
Israeli
也
part
解除了
or
对所有
Israeli
公共道路的
military.
这个封
But
锁，
on the
所以
spot,
大
we
致来
can
看，这边的
see
局势
the
是相对
Israeli
地恢复了平静。
military has
那么现
lifted
在
the
就来到了
blockade
这
on
个
public
居民楼的
roads.
这个
So roughly speaking, the
家中。
situation has become calmer. So we enter into the house of a local
Nice to meet you,
resident.
sir. Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you. So, can we go inside and visit this place?
This is the house of
Iako što bi na dan ili taj čelnik
So-
מה השם שלך? הדסה.
Nice to meet you.
Her name is Hadassah.
Okay.
She is living in this house, renting this house, and she one of the citizens which were influenced from the bomb which hit this building. I would like to show you the shelter which was built.
Sorry, Ms. Mary, can we do a very quick interview first with this?
Yes, shortly, please.
This girl,
yes,
yeah.
Because she's a little tired and she would like to do it short.
I understand. So
Yes,
can
you
she
may ask.
introduce first what's her name and how what happening during that attack? What was
Okay.
she was there and
Okay.
what happened to her?
אוקיי. הוא שואל לשמך ומה היה ואם היית פה כשהיה הפיצוץ.
כן, אז שמי הדסה צרויה.
Her name is הדסה צרויה.
אני גרה פה, בלילה של הפיצוץ היינו פה.
I was here that
הילדים
night.
הקטנים היו איתנו, ואני, בעלי ושלושת הקטנים שלנו היו איתנו. הילדה הגדולה הייתה ערה ומאוד מאוד נבהלה. התחלנו שתינו לבכות, וממש כשהיה את הבום החזק נשקפתי ככה על הילדים כדי להגן עליהם אפילו, למרות שהיינו בממ"ד.
Let me translate, please. She's describing that night. She was with her husband and 3 kids, and when the alarm started, they entered the shelter. It was very terrifying, and she protected her kids and her daughter, and she started crying. Also, when they knew that they are protected, but the noise and the bombing is very fearing.
So they can hear the bombing continually happening. I mean, explosion. They can hear it.
האם את משחזרת את זה? את עדיין שומעת את הדברים האלה?
כן, וזה כל מי שבא לעזור לנו, גם החיות שלי, וזה אומרות שהתמונה הזאת שהכל שבור וכל הבית פה הרוס והילדים מפוחדים וקר להם, זה נורא היה להם, זה עדיין עולה במחשבות, וזה לא, אי אפשר לחזור ככה לשגרה כל כך מהר. אני לא הצלחתי, אני היום צריכה ללכת לעבודה, פשוט באתי לנקות ולסדר פה, והבת שלי גם לא הסכימה ללכת לגן, היא פשוט לא מצליחה לעכל את זה.
There are flashback of the situation. Each people also her sister is describing this experience as a very difficult experience. She didn't go to work today. It's all the time recycle the situation and the bomb and the damage. And her daughter didn't want to go to school today.
How old is her daughter?
בת כמה בתך?
4.5.
4.5.
So that night, actually, she and her husband was there, and the 3 children.
Yes, they were.
All right. So during the attack, how was the sirens continuing hearing the sirens, and how many times they went to the shelter?
כמה זמן נשמעה הזעקה וכמה זמן לקח לכם להגיע למקלט?
המזל שלנו שהייתה אזעקה אחת לפני הנפילה הזאת. היה פעמיים צבע אדום, אחד אחרי השני. בצבע האדום הראשון לא הייתה נפילה, הכיפת ברזל הרתה, ובצבע האדום השני הכיפת ברזל לא הצליחה ליירט ונפל פה מאחורה, וזה המזל שלנו כי לא היינו מספיקים להגיע לממ"ד, כי באמצע של הצבע האדום השני כבר הייתה נפילה, ועד הכניסה לממ"ד שלנו הכל זכוכיות, ופשוט מה שקרה לשכן למעלה שהוא לא הספיק להגיע כבר לממ"ד. וכולו...
She is describing during that time there were 2 alarms very close each other, and one of them was stopped by the Iron Dome. The attack was stopping, but the next one during their stay in the shelter did not stop by the Iron Dome, and it fall here and all glasses around. And
So explosion happened near the house.
near the house, it's the
yeah,
next.
it's the next place.
It's
Yeah.
the next place. So it
They
was.
were that time in
They
shelter.
were in shelter.
Thanks God, yeah,
That
it's luck.
was their luck, because when they came out, glasses and damage and all the furnitures and
Okay, so now they're just cleaning.
She's
everything.
cleaning, and she took away one day to brief out of the location, and today she came to organize and to be back to her life.
Okay, so maybe you can have some rest. I will translate to the Chinese audience. Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe I tell the Chinese audience what is happening going on, and first, yes. So actually, 那现在其实我们刚才经过对这位女士和的采访呢，我们其实
So
了解到，
now
其实
we
在
have
当地时
interviewed
间的
this
4号晚上，
beautiful
当袭击
lady
发生的
here.
时候，她跟她
We
的
know
丈夫还有
that
3个孩子
at the
就在
night
这个
of
房
the
屋里
4th of
然
May,
后
when
在
the
那
attack
个袭
happened,
击发生之后
her
呢，在警
and
报
her
响起的时候，
husband
其实他们是
and
多
the
次听到这
children
个
were
警报响
in
起，然后
this
冲进
room.
了在
When
屋
the
里的这个
siren
避难
ringed,
所。然后之
they
后就
heard
听到
the
就听见了
siren
这个巨大
and
的
they
爆炸声，
rushed
其
to the
实多
shelter.
次的这
And
种
later on,
袭
they
击的
heard
警报声呢，还有爆
a
炸声呢，已经
huge
让他们
sound
整个
of
精神
explosion.
受到了很大的这
Several
个
sirens
压力，
and
包括
explosions
他刚才女
have
主人在说的时候，
caused
就是在讲
substantial
其实在
stress
当天
for the family, and the
在
lady
这个袭击发
has
生的
been
时候呢，就
telling
其实
that
已经是大声
on
的
the
哭泣
day
了
of
啊
the attack,
之后的
she
第二天，她
were
就
she
带
was
孩子他们
crying,
选择先离开这个地方，
and
直
the
至今天
next
他们
day
回来，重新想再收拾
she
一下这
and
个受
her
到所的
baby,
家。
her
So this
children
is the shelter,
left
this is
this place for one day, and today
啊
she
这个
and
呢
her
其实就
children
是
came
他
back
们
to
的
clean
这
up.
个临时的一个避难
So
所。
here
然
is
后
a
看到这个
shelter.
窗户呢是经过这个特制的百叶窗啊，
You
这
can
种
see
加
the
固的，所以能
window.
够防止弹片
The
呢
window
进入，但是我们
is
还是可以看到
specially
上面有个小孔，
manufactured,
这个应
so
该就是
it can
当时这
prevent
个
the
弹
bullets
片留下的
from
痕
coming
迹，
in.
包括我
And
们
you
看
can
到这
also
个
see the small
窗户应
hole.
该都是
It
加
must
厚的。
be
So
the
this glass maybe is
trace of the
antibody,
bullets.
antibody.
And you can see we have the strengthened glass.
Good. 这个米尔亚姆女士告诉我们，其实这个玻璃呢，其实都是特制的防弹玻璃，能够
And
防止这个碎
You
片。
can see the
然后
glass,
这个
it
地方应
is
该是一个通风口，
bulletproof.
这里是一个通风口，然
And
后我们看
here
到这
we
个避
have
难所里
the
面是有这
ventilation.
个插座，包括这
You
个
can see in this shelter, we have the
感觉是非常的
charger
坚实。
adapter, and you
刚
can
才
feel
这
the
个
wall.
是钢筋
The
水
wall
泥
is
的
very
组
thick,
成啊，足足有
and
40公分
I'm
40
told
米厚
that
能够保证它不受这个火箭弹的
the wall
这个
is 40 centimeters
摧
thick,
毁。
so that it can prevent the damage done by the rocket. And you can see in the shelter, there is a bed, so this place is suited for a short period of living here.
你可以看到这个房间里很多还有这个爆炸留下的痕迹。
You can also see that in the room,
爆炸的这个威力啊
we have the traces and remains of the explosion. You can imagine how big the explosion was.
然后 ，Let's go。我们可以看到，其实房间里刚才有很多这个小孩的衣服、鞋子，包括很
You
多东
can
西都是很
see
散
in
乱的
the
留在地面
rooms
上。我们可以想
there
到，当时他们离开的时候也是
are
非常
many
非常匆忙
clothes, shoes,
涂掉了吧
and other
Thank you very
things
much.
shattering
Thank you very much.
on the floor, so you can
现在也不
imagine
便对他们
how
进
they
行
rushed
更
away.
多的打扰，我们就先离开这个地方。
And now we will leave the house.
Okay. So there were also residents, right? Or they were just
Neighbors.
neighbors. Okay. Maybe do you think we can interview with them some questions?
Most of them are
No English.
exposed to the,
Ah.
no English, but also exposing to the same experience.
Yeah.
Because it was really unregular and different this time. It's hit at the houses and the explosion was visible. You can see it and
Yeah.
people were there.
So just now, actually, you mentioned this past 18 years, it happened time to time. So could you tell, like this time, what's the difference between this time attack and the attacks in the past?
Look, this time in a few days, about 630 rocket bombs. It's not the way from here.
Okay.
It is different in 2.5 days. Sometimes it is less. Sometimes it takes more days. Each time it's different. But this time, very intensive shooting and hitting the places is making the difference.
I got it. So could you tell, wait a second,
Yeah.
let's go down. Let me translate your words first. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe within 5 minutes. 那么刚才我们对这个米尔亚姆女士的采访中呢，我就想问她，其实这一回的袭击对于他们来说呢，跟以前袭击有什么不同？
Ms. Miriam, what is the difference of this round of attack as compared to previous ones? And she says that for this round of attack, so many rockets were fired within a short period. So it is an intense shock for the local residents. And for the interception of the missiles, they can see the missiles. And so it is a psychological shock and stress.
Just now, it's just the same question. Because this is a really dangerous place, and people having life here and also raising children here. So why people insist stay this place?
It is our home. This is our country. It was declared by the United Nations and the government of Israel. There is no reason to leave our home. We are insisting to have a protect life and education and health and resilience in our home.
All right. Even it's dangerous.
It will not be dangerous for a long time anymore, I'm sure.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. 我刚才问这个米尔亚姆女士的问题，其实我觉得
So I asked
就是这个地方其实距离加沙
this question, and this place is so near to Gaza Strip. Over the past 18 years, this place has been attacked for so many times. So why they insist on staying at this place? She answered that the people here believe that this place is the territory of Israel and there's no reason for them to leave their hometown, their home country, and they believe that the country can protect their security. After viewing our broadcast, you may think that the attack is a huge damage to Israel. But from the perspective of Palestine or Gaza area, the attack from the Israeli military is even more severe. In the Gaza Strip, more than 100 people were injured and more than 10 were dead. The conflict, in essence, is the dispute concerning territory and sovereignty. And over the past 12 years, Israel has a strict quarantine and blockade for the Gaza Strip. And Hamas has gained control of Gaza Strip through violence, and from that time on, Israel has a strict quarantine for the goods and personnel that come into this area. And for the Gaza Strip, if people want to use water or electricity, the people need to go through Israel. And according to our source, the people in Gaza area only have access to electricity for several hours each day. And according to our source, the people feel like experiencing an earthquake, and they can hear the sound of the Israeli airplanes. According to our introduction, we can sense that both parties have reached a kind of understanding and ceasefire. But from a long-term perspective, the conflict may be hard to tackle. And this is actually the end of our broadcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
Turn the camera to the damaged place.